Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. It is Sunday night, and we are live. Hope everybody has had a good weekend. And yes, indeed, the markets are getting ready to open here soon. It was a wild ride we had last week, especially Friday. But let's say hello to some folks that are here. We've got All Is One now. Good to see you. I guess he wasn't able to get that membership thing working, but yes, indeed. But good to see we got Running Eagle here, Josh Matthews, Dazed and Confused Stacker, welcome. A lot of good folks popping in here already. Silver Wolverine says Fed lowers rates to 0. Wow, that's going to be interesting to see how the Asian markets react to that. That is nuts. That is crazy. Nowhere to go but negative after that, right? Have we ever been here before to rates going to 0? That is something else. Wow. That is crazy. Down to 0. So that was over a point then, because weren't the points at 1.25? But good to see. Hello, Talking Bullion. Good to see you. A lot of good folks here popping in. We're going to go ahead and take one comment, and then we're going to look at the markets as they open up in Asia. This is on the Why You Should Not Give Up on Silver video. The disappointment in spot silver over time has led to disenchantment. When you hear the gold to silver ratio in the mid-90s, you may figure you're wasting your fiat currency. Is that possible? Toilet paper in short supply these days. Yeah. Well, it's now 103 or whatever to 1 now. But you know what? It is an ultra high, but you can't just use the ratio as a measure because, in many ways they're kind of working independently. But anyways, all right. We got full point, says Silver Drill Pickle. All right. That's interesting. News. I'm actually going to look and see. I'm going to see where a news source is for that. I'm going to look at Drudge. I just want to confirm some of this here. Let's see here. Fed cut rates to 0. There it is. So the Federal Reserve has cut rates to, let's cover this. This is very important. This is crazy on a Sunday night. This to take place. This is quite interesting. And here, CNBC is reporting Federal Reserve cuts rates to 0 and launches $700 billion quantitative easing program. So we are into quantitative easing. We're going to come back. That's a headline. The markets have opened. How are they reacting? Let's find out. The Asian markets are here. Let's refresh this and see what's happening. Let's see here. All right, so look at that. The metals are popping back out of the doldrums to where they were right out of the starting gate. So we see a popping back up of the metals here. Gold is up 2.46%, snapping back 1568.50 for gold, and silver is up 3%, folks. Silver's at $15.23, coming back into the realms of reality. So the Asian markets are awake, and they are awake, maybe awakening on the news, partially, maybe that this cutting of the rates and a $700 billion quantitative easing, we shall see here. Breaking news, most Americans in 2020 battlegrounds fear that coronavirus will lead to recession. And so here is the key points to this. In an emergency move on Sunday, folks, the Federal Reserve announced it is dropping its benchmark interest rate to 0 and launching a new round of quantitative easing. The QE program will entail $700 billion worth of asset purchases entailing treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. Wow. So unprecedented here to see this, especially on a Sunday. Crazy times. Indeed. This is a part of the market watch, and I think this is probably what is going to be happening and what's moving the news cycle and what's happening in Asia here, because the markets are moving, and precious metal markets, and they're reacting. Typically, when the Fed cuts the rates, it eases and calms the markets, and the metals will go down. But it could be that they're realizing, hey, the Federal Reserve is making a move on a Sunday night. The people in Asia and the markets over there are realizing this is serious. And so what are they doing? They're snapping back to that safe haven. You're going to hear the word snap a lot, I think, on this live stream, because the precious metal prices are snapping back. And on this news about the Federal Reserve cutting rates, so thanks to Silver Wolverine and others, about this breaking news about the Federal Reserve cutting rates to 0. So the coronavirus outbreak has harmed communities, disrupted economic activity in many countries, including the United States, cut interest rates to essentially zero on Sunday, and launched a massive $700 billion quantitative easing program to shelter the economy from the effects of the coronavirus. The new Fed funds rate, used as a benchmark both for the short-term lending in the financial institutions and as a peg to many consumer rates, will now be targeted at 0 to 0.25%, and down from a target range of 1% to 1.25%. Facing highly disrupted financial markets, the Fed also slashed the rate of emergency lending at the discount windows for banks by 125 BPS to 0.5. Now, breaking just now, the Dow Jones futures fall 600 points, even after the Fed slashes rates to calm markets amid the coronavirus outbreak. So people are concerned, and that is why we're seeing precious metals go up. So here we go. They're up, but they're snapping back, but they're also easing a little bit here now, too. Gold is up 1.44%, and gold is back down, but it is still up a little bit at 0.68%. So they're trying to assess this news here. It's happening literally as we speak, as the markets open up, and I think these markets are reacting to all of this and taking into consideration everything at hand. But, you know, one thing, how the dealers will react to this if the price does go back up, we'll see. But so far, it snapped back, but then pulled back just afterwards, almost like a international, like a, I don't know, somewhat of a little mini dead cat bounce, maybe a wounded cat roll over. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We shall see. Good to see you guys here. Appreciate you being here. We're going to try to go through some of these comments in the comment review, but in the meantime, we're following breaking news about the Federal Reserve. They are lowering interest rates and starting another round of quantitative easing, folks. So we'll see how this pays out. The Dow Jones Industrial Futures is reacting negatively to this rate to calm the markets because they feel like it's maybe too little too late. I don't know, or how they're taking it, or maybe they're just concerned that we're in a much bigger world of hurt than what we thought with this thing. As you know, many places are getting shut down, gatherings. Many states are doing states of emergency and preventing the culmination of people of over 100 or 250 people. And so it is something else. Crazy. All right. Good to see you guys here, and I apologize if I'm not seeing all of your message or not responding to them. Thank you for being here in the chat side, though. We got Stacky Nerd, whose cat just slow blinked Sal at the comment. Wow. International Stacker is here. Good to see all you guys. Jenny is here. We've got to wake up and smell the coffee. I'm going to slurp the coffee because as crazy as things are right now, and as fast as news moves, there's always time to slurp your coffee. That's right. And we have Barbara Carbone here. Very good to see you. C. Barrett is here. Welcome, C. Barrett. All right, good to see you. And Roy is here. And Arthur is here. When will premiums drop? I don't know, but hopefully they will drop soon. But it's going to take some while before the supply chains can make their way through. They'll drop as soon as they probably can, but they'll drop probably even quicker if people stop panic buying. All right, so International Stacker just landed in Maryland. Okay, very good. All right. Yes, indeed. Easy Tech, good to see you. All right. So let's see here. We're going to finish this article here, but I want to tackle a couple of comments here. We're going to quickly move back to the markets, but Think Vesting says, actually, the bullion dealer removes the risk through the hedge. It's not taking on more risk. That's right, exactly. I may have misspoken there. Oops, I just put the link to the article there. I don't want to do that. I want to grab this and let him know that I'm responding to his comment on a live stream at this very moment for Think Vesting. But good to see Think Vesting again. All right, good to get Power Slurp. Yes, I'm going to do a Power Slurp here momentarily. Okay. Chakakanawana says, so these dealers can talk about how silver's manipulated, and they're here manipulating it. Yeah. I guess with those hedges, I guess in some way you could that would be one way to interpret that. But thank you, Rhode Island Trends, for says, I've been hunting online stores like eBay, Craigslist, etc., and more, buying sterling silver about 4 times a month at $50 per 1 or 2 pounds, scoring big time, all flatware and hollowware, no candlesticks or knives, so I've been making a killing. So I really don't care what the price is. I buy smart and I buy it from the pack. Well, that's right. Very good. There was a guy in here named BSO who did the same thing. Bought sterling, found really good deals on them. So definitely a good way to do it. Thank you, sir, for your insight. The enabler says, cleaned out the pawn shops near my job earlier today. Got a total of 11 ounces of silver. Well, congratulations. I hope you got a good deal on those. It's a good way to look. For sure. All right, very good. All right. Welcome, you guys. Let's see here. Okay, let's get back here. Let's check out the breaking news, guys, as shared with us by Silver Wolverine. I think somebody else mentioned it too. But the Federal Reserve just cut interest rates literally to zero. I've never heard of that happening. Anybody else? I don't think I've ever seen that before here in America. And the Dows have fallen 600 points because of it. So let's see. The new Fed's rate, used as a benchmark both for short-time lending and financial institutions and as a peg to many consumer rates, will now be targeted at 0 to 0.25%, down from a target range of 1% to 1.25%, a whole point drop. Facing highly disrupted financial markets, the Fed also slashed the rate of emergency lending at the discount windows for banks by 125 BPS to 0.25% and lengthened the term of loans to 90 days. The Fed also cut reserve requirements for thousands of banks to zero. In addition, in a global coordinated move by central banks, the Fed said that the Bank of Canada, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, the European Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, and the Swiss National Bank took action to enhance dollar liquidity around the world through existing dollar swap arrangements, securing our reserve status. That's kind of what's going on there. They want to make sure dollars are flowing around the world. And that does enhance and secure our status as a premier world reserve currency here. Very, very good. Yes, indeed. Let's see. The banks lowered the rate of these swap line loans and extended the periods for such loans. Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, is expected to hold a press conference via telephone at 6:30 p.m., which is minutes from now. The actions by the Fed appear to be the largest single-day set of moves a bank had ever taken, mirroring in many ways its efforts during the financial crisis that we were rolled out over several months. Sunday's move includes multiple programs, rate cuts, and QE, but all in a single day. Now, what this article is not talking about, and what was discussed last week, is the $500 billion in one night of liquidity between central banks for these day loans. That's called the repo, the repurchase agreements. People call that QE4. Maybe we'll call it QE 3.5, and this is QE4. I don't know. But anyways, it is something to behold for sure. And it is something else. All right, I've been told here by Terry to slow down, to not panic. So I'm going to try not to panic here. I will slurp on. Let's have a power slurp for Barb. Here we go. Ah, yes, indeed. All right. But there is a lot of breaking news here, guys. The markets are open in Asia and reacting accordingly. And so let's take a look here. Now, what happened when the markets first opened this afternoon here, or this evening, 6 o'clock Eastern time, but in Asia, it's Monday morning over there. Gold was up. It was up almost 3% or whatever, or 2.5%, and silver was up over 3%. But they have snapped back out of their lows, but there was a slight pullback, but now they're starting to regain territory again from their open. So gold is now 2.26% increase to $34.60. Silver is 37 cents higher, taking us out of the low 14s. It is now up into the 15s. Platinum is up $3. Palladium is still going down a bit, below $1,800, folks. So it is something else to see here. So if you're just joining us here, the markets have opened up strong on the breaking news that the Federal Reserve has literally cut the rates down to zero, an unprecedented move. While we have viewers here, and I appreciate you guys being here, we've got almost 200 viewers. I want to take this opportunity right now, as we have 57 people thumb this video up, and I thank you for that, is if you haven't, I want to tell you about a channel that you should really think about subscribing to. This is a great channel, a great guy. He's in here in the chat right now. It's Silver Honda. He's been on YouTube for quite a while. He has a lot of fun with his videos. He has some sage advice that he's given in his most recent video, which I encourage you all to check out, about how to save and how to accumulate and enjoy the journey of precious metals. Silver Honda is the channel name. If you see him here on inside the chat, say hello, Silver Honda. You can click the three little dots on the right-hand side and go to his channel and give him a subscription. If we get him up over 1,000 subs and get the watch time up, he'll be able to monetize his channel, which will help him to preserve his wealth with precious metals even more. So give him a sub if you can. Thank you so much. So here we are, back at it again. The markets are moving, folks. And unprecedented news here today. Quantitative easing version 4. We had version 3.5 with the repurchase agreements. Others were calling it 4, but I'm going to go ahead and call it 3.5. But continuing on with this article here, the quantitative easing will take the form of $500 billion of treasuries and $200 billion of agency-backed mortgage securities. They're trying to save the housing market. You remember, in the crisis of 2007 and 2008, it was the mortgage crisis that caused the recession, or was part of it. There was a lot of different factors that played a part, but it kind of centered around that after a lot of these big banks fell through. A lot of predatory lending and the like that had occurred. And I think they're trying to save from that because a lot of the same tactics that were used back then are used today, just in a different form. Moving ahead, the Fed cuts rates from the previous target range of 1% to 1.25% and said it would remain there until it is confident that the economy has weathered recent events and is on track to achieve its maximum employment and price stability goals. All right, very good. Let's see here. Pamela Rice says, breaking news, the price of physical gold decouples from paper gold. Oh, wow, interesting. All right, yeah. I'll tell you what, that'll be interesting to see because as quickly as these markets move, it would not surprise me if we do see a separation. People want to, if they're buying the paper markets, they want to have it proved with the physical. So that is interesting news. Thank you, Pamela Rice, for that. Low paper PM prices generating massive physical PM shortages. That's right. And that is what we're seeing here. Good to see you guys. So I want to thank you all for joining me here. I'm sorry if I'm missing some of your chat here, but thank you all for being here. We are basically covering these markets. There's a lot of fast-moving action and with this news about the Fed cutting rates literally down to zero, unprecedented action on a Sunday to see the Fed make a 1% cut. It is something else to see. And the precious metal markets are acting accordingly. Everybody's nervous about this, not only because of the coronavirus, but also because of what's happening, unprecedented action by the Fed to save us, hopefully, from a recession. But we'll see here. Very good. All right, good to see you guys popping in here. We got Rocky B. Sanchez. Century Sylvia is here. Hello, Century. Good to see you, my friend. Rocky, Jenny here. Good to see you all. Fiat Destroyer is here. It's got a bounce. Thank you, Fiat Destroyer, for being here. Appreciate you. And Pudenda is here. It's been a long time since we've seen Pudenda, Dutch Silver Pirate. I'm trying my best. I'm gonna shout you guys out because I appreciate you all being here. But we're going back and forth, checking the markets, checking the latest breaking news with the Dow Jones here, falling 900 points now, even if the Fed has slashed its rate. So that's almost a 1,000-point drop, even before the markets open tomorrow morning at 9. The market is nervous, folks, and they are acting completely out of fear. And I think that the Federal Reserve lowering the rate a point on a Sunday probably has it more scared than anything. Let's see here. So, again, to recap here, the Fed cuts rates from the previous target range of 1% to 1.25% and said it would remain there until it was confident that the economy has weathered recent events and is on track to achieve its maximum employment and price stability goals. Cleveland's Fed President Loretta Mester was on the lone no vote, preferring to set rates at 0.5% to 0.75%, which would have represented a 50 basis point or a half percentage point reduction. The Fed added in its statement that it is prepared to use its full range of tools Well, it's full range of tools. They're almost out of tools. How much more can you go below zero? I guess you can do negative. What's going to happen to your savings accounts? You'll be charged to have your money there. People will be pulling them out. Herb Ash is here. Hello, Herb. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. A $5 super chat. Let's explore, he says. We did that. We're going to take some time to slurp, too, because no matter how crazy the markets are, no matter how much news breaks, there's always enough time to slurp your coffee. Appreciate you guys being here. Yes, indeed. Donald in New Mexico is here, too. Thank you, Donald. And Terry and Kalanick. All right, let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. It appeared, though it was not entirely clear, that the meeting that took place will replace the regularly scheduled meeting of the Federal Open Market Committee. We'll see. I'll tell you what, it is something else. What else can they do? Can they cut? Can they cut any more? Can they go negative? I don't know. It's crazy. Let's see here. All right, let's see what the prices are doing now. The market's reacting here. Again, gold up 2.82%, silver up 2.5%, $43 uptick in gold, getting closer to that $1,600 level again. Silver is now well above 15, or enough above it, comfortably above it now. Platinum is up $5 here. Palladium is still suffering, but it is now above $1,800. Rhodium, no movement there at all. We're all doomed, says Terry. All right, very good. The Desert Pioneer is on fire. Hello. Excuse me, guys. Vertical stackers here. Arthur, you only need to say it once, Arthur. You don't have to say it 4 or 5 times. You're flooding the chat there, brother. Try not to do that. All right, let's see here. Gordon McSweeney. Let's go to some of these comments here. This is about the precious metal dealers protecting themselves during a spot price plunge. You see, kids, silver is like the lottery. When you lose, but when you win, then you pay only half. I know, it's crazy. All right, let's see here. Let's get back up here. Leroy, why you should not give them a silver. I take a sip of water, too. All right, let's see here. As long as silver gets to approximately $50 over the next 10 years, I'll be happy. I think it'll be there within 2 years, though. The economy is in such woeful shape. Currency is diminishing in value every day, and even faster when QE happens. Well, that was as kind of foreshadowing as to what's happening right now. Yes, indeed. Thanks, Leroy. Repeat says, picked up 6 ounces for $16 US that my LCS had left. I'll take it, no complaint. It could always be worse. Agree, Sal. He has overhead, and we as a customer do not. PMs go up and down. Their bills don't. That's exactly right. A lot of businesses are being hurt, and the precious metals industry is no exception. All right, very good. We got to be careful. APMEX cranked its premiums on junk change from 49 cents to over $1.50. Yeah. Crazy. Like I said, I'm hoping we'll get some response to some inquiries about this for an interview next week, I'm hoping. Over here, gold was fixed. Is that when you bring your pet to the vet for a surgical procedure? Yeah, there you go. Gold was fixed. It got neutered or spayed, depending on how you want to put it. All right. CB 750 says, seems like the best deals are as far as premiums is on platinum. Better to keep far away from palladium. One very large online dealer has a $500 premium on 1 ounce. Wow, crazy. Yes, I did make a platinum move last week as well too. Bought it on dip, but missed out. I could have definitely could have gotten for much less probably if I had waited another day to buy. But so it is. Mabe Sober, I'll trade you 1 ounce of silver for not 1, but 2 rolls of TP. There you go. And drive a hard bargain there, Mabe. All right, so let's get back here. Let's see what the markets are doing. Right now, we're seeing movements again. Now gold is up 2.5%, up $30.30 to $15.69, easing back only slightly. And silver is at $15.09 now. Platinum's down, and palladium is still down, now below $1,800. So let's finish this article here on the breaking news. For those of you just joining us, the markets are opening up hot, and they're snapping back out of fear. Breaking news, stock futures plummet, hit limit down, even as Fed slashes rate. Dow futures off 1,000 points. And so what happened is this little breaking news ticker on CNBC is they've got, I guess, some sort of text in here, but it is crazy. The market is plunging again, folks, even before they open up. And the Federal Reserve has done an unprecedented action on a Sunday. They cut a Federal Reserve 1 point cut. You know, I remember the days when a quarter point was like, okay, a quarter point here, a quarter point here. Then it became big news that it was a quarter point rate hike or rate cut. Then we saw a half point, unprecedented on an off the schedule, and now we have a full point rate cut. Crazy. Let's see. Oh man, Step Stacker comes in with breaking news here. Appreciate the super chat. He says Indy XP is sick, quarantine and still hosting tonight. Stop at El Dorado. All right, it's coin roll hunting with gold. 1 spot left. Man, so he's Indy. I hope Indy does not have the coronavirus. That would not be good. Our prayers are with him for sure. Thank you so much. Man, wow. Yes, everybody be safe out there. Anybody can get this, by the way, this thing. So just be careful. Use common sense when being around folks. It's crazy. All right. Okay, let's see here. All right. It appeared, so let's see here. The move follows several actions by the Fed over the past 2 weeks, in which it enacted a 50 basis point emergency rate cut and expanded the overnight credit offering or repo for the financial system up to $1.5 trillion. That's crazy. That's more than the GDPs of many nations out there. All right. Step Stacker says he has all the symptoms, including delusions. Oh my goodness! Wow, that's the first I've never heard of delusions with this. But yes, my prayers are with Indy XP. That is not good. Oh man, I'll tell him to take it easy and rest up. For sure. Yes, indeed. Wow. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna keep this page up because I think it's important. We may refresh this and see what the latest is here, but let's check these markets again. There's a lot of activity. The markets are reacting to that news. In Asia, they've opened up and gold is up strong, almost 2% now. They're kind of leveling off. I kind of think they want to see, they're trying to decide whether or not we should either panic or if they should realize, hey, this is good news and this will help things in the midterm. We'll find out. Hopefully sooner or later. Okay, we'll come back to here momentarily. Let us come back to these comments because some of this, I believe, is appropriate considering where spot prices have been and the precious metal dealers jacking up their prices and how they hedge themselves. Ian says, good luck all, and thanks, Sal. You're the best. Thank you so much, Ian. I appreciate those kind words. Means a lot. Boss Dog says, giving up. If I can sell my silver for 1 cent of profit, I'm out. Big scam. The only ones making money are the dealers that are selling and buying. Big scam. Get out. Well, you know, and again, I talked about this in this video, and even though I've talked about it, some people still are kind of repeating kind of the same thing. You know, the dealers, they every time the spot price dips dramatically, typically they do raise their premiums. Why? Because there's a big demand. There's a huge influx. This is actually good news because it means that people are still have faith in silver. I think we should be a lot more concerned if they don't have faith in silver or gold, and they don't take this opportunity. So what do? The dealers raise their premiums because they either have to get silver from out of their rather than take a hit on it, or how is it they're saying, or there's so many people out there, they're all raising their premiums. So the best way to counter that is to not buy at this time. Don't buy when the premiums are this high. So I think that's the answer to this. Don't give in to it. Don't pay those $4 and $5 premium over spot deals or the things that are out there. if the supply is short, or if they're getting from a different, from another futures or from another dealer that are raising their premiums to them, they have to pass those premiums on to you in order for them to make money. But we'll kind of, again, I'm just guesstimating here because I don't know for sure, but I'm hoping that a dealer will answer my inquiry for an interview, and we'll find out and see. All right, songs SJJ. Thanks, Sal. This is a great video. Explains a lot. Leaves me a bit disillusioned, though. Sounds like the setup is during stable times and make a decent profit. During the fluctuations, they make a killing. Well, I'm sure that model from the infographic, even though it basically makes it look like they make the same no matter what, I do believe probably there are some fluctuations. I think that it can be weighted one way or the other. Just a matter of how they hedge their bets, so to speak. Bob Sullivan, as also sometimes in my LCS I can get graded a piece in Morgan's for about the same price as ungraded silver dollars, or maybe 50-cent difference for a much nicer AU BU coin. Worth it. That's true. Although I will just say that as far as pure stacking, this piece of Morgan dollars only have 0.77 ounces. So you're paying an ounce price for a 3/4 ounce silver dollar. There's always a little bit of a numismatic value to this piece of Morgan dollars, typically. Just FYI. All right, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Century Sylvia's kind of where I'm at too. I like to see platinum drop. I do have an order for an ounce, but I kind of wouldn't mind getting another one. Jay Howard, it could be that buying silver rounds when the spot price drops, and when the premiums and silver eagles drop, and after the spot price raises, when you buy again. I was looking to buy some silver eagles from APMEX, raise premiums to make the cost just about the same as it was when spot price was $3 around 17.18. JM Bullion is the lowest order, $2.99. I didn't want to order that much. I don't buy eagles, just a few rounds instead, so I was able to maximize my buying power. That's right. Well, yeah, if you can find other ways to buy or find other deals that haven't been marked up, then yeah, crazy. Gold Maple, it's gone. You missed out. Salivate Metal, you missed it. All right, yes indeed. Actually, I was able to get some, but I paid a little bit of a premium on mine too. Raw Dog, sold at the peak. He was genius. Oh man. I wonder whatever happened to old Raw Dog. I protect myself through education, and part of that education is Salivate Metal videos. Well, thank you, Multi-Gun Man. Although I don't get everything right, that's for sure. But I thought I'd bring that up to you. Let's see what the markets are doing right now, folks. They are pulling ahead, 240 in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here. We got 101 thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. We're checking these markets now. We have got movement in the markets, but it is not as wild as it was when it opened up about a half an hour ago. The prices are subsiding a bit, but they're still up for gold and silver. But now silver has dipped below $15 for the first time in a half an hour since the markets opened up. So maybe that they are normalizing and digesting the news, the breaking news that the Federal Reserve has cut their rates to zero. They have cut their rates to zero, a full 1-point cut in the rates. And they've launched a massive $700 billion quantitative easing program. That's just today. That's on this very day that this has occurred. And the Dow Jones Industrial Futures have lost 1,000 points. That ticker just went away and disappeared, but it'll come back, I'm sure. So, yes, indeed, the emergency move Sunday. The Federal Reserve announced it is dropping its benchmark interest rate to zero and launching a new round of quantitative easing. This is an emergency move, unprecedented. Indeed, for sure. All right. So though we are watching these markets, and they are moving swiftly, for sure. So we'll come back to that. But I want to try to get through some of these comments because some of these are apropos to the subjects at hand, because precious metals are affected by everything, or with what's happened with the economy as far as the price. All right, Lil Payne is not giving up. He just bought some more silver in this video, but don't give up in silver. And about the precious metal dealers hedging. One thing I hate about dealer websites that display as low as prices. Many of us can't hope to ever buy. I know, I wish they wouldn't do that too. It's a marketing tactic, because they want to say, oh, that's a low price, but you have to buy 150 of them or what have you. All right, let's see here. Okay, I was the Alchemist 2008 fed to zero. I don't remember they ever did that in 2008. I don't know. I don't think it was this bad during the SARS outbreak, Van. All right. Stock market was in the green when I looked, says Bill 457. Yeah. Yeah. Well, now the futures are looking bad. Let's see here. Steve Wood says, always appreciate Sal. It makes sense, but it still sucks. I guess a few were able to be watching, and before they could adjust the premium, grab some deals. A very small window to be able to do that. See you, TMR, tomorrow afternoon. I hope it goes a lot lower and stays for a long time. Does that sound bitter? Good, it was meant that way. No, I hear you. But so far, Steve, your wish is not coming true. They are up higher. Let's see here. COMEX price and MX price, never the two shall meet. That's right. Silver Britches is here. Hello, good to see you. All right. Good to see all you guys popping in here for sure. Whiskey Bear. Went to buy, advertised price was okay for me. At checkout, premium went up several percent, backed out the check price, no change, tried again, and same. Very shady practices. Well, I think I explained some of that in this video, but maybe we'll get a dealer on to do this. Review a product you don't even have. I never said I was reviewing it. I just told it about when it was there, that it was available. That was an old video, but I do have wearable pure gold rings that I bought from Monet. Search those videos. The Crutchinator. Plenty of people whining about premiums. You do realize that dealers are businesses and they want the cars and McMansions same as you do. That's right, and that's the perspective I think most people forget about. This is something where they have to kind of take into consideration their bottom line in order to stay in business. And the Interstacker is not really here. Oh man, so we just breaking news there. Good to see you guys. Mr. Sting 17 is here. Ngrat Mact is here. Jamie Fox is here. Good to see you guys. Plenty of... Yep, all right, there we go. We got that already. Gene says, I just looked into this topic myself, and you ain't kidding. Premiums are ridiculous. Also, Amex has cleaned out most of their rounds. And see, the answer to that is not to buy. Do not buy when the premiums are that high. But you take the risk that the price that the price could go back up tremendously again, and you may have saved only a little bit because the premiums may come down when that spot price goes up. You'll pay about the same or maybe a little bit more. We'll see. All right, here. How's my bottom line? My bottom line. Oh, man, so far, so good. But, I just got some things. I got some bills I got to pay. Terry 79. Got some unexpected expenses that I have to pay, but it shouldn't be too bad here. Let's see here. My coffee mug doesn't have a bottom in it yet. Time for push-ups. Man, I need to do some push-ups. Crazy. Silver Bear. If you want to buy a spot, you have to put in the work. Bargain Shop. That's right, Silver Bear. Good to see you, Silver Bear. Been a long time. Hope you're doing well. Highlander Stacker. Welcome. Good to see you, sir. A lot of negative comments about JM Bullion and their handling of order volume and customer service. Very disappointing. They're right. They were my go-to dealer. No longer. The pickings are slim. Yeah, everybody's piling on. I know. It's crazy. A Fortune 6035. I wonder what they would buy an ounce of silver from us. Oh, yeah, it's a good question. Good question. All right, let's see. Markets. Okay. A bit of a subsiding a bit, but they're still up a little bit. Gold and silver up slightly, just over 1% for gold, and silver is 1.36%. I have noticed that in this 35 or so minutes here, that silver's been outperforming gold in this short amount of time. Does that mean we're returning to days of old when silver would be more volatile and move in a direction both ways in comparison to gold? I don't know. It's too early to tell, but I thought it was an interesting thing here. Van's school is closed for 2 weeks. Wow. Yeah, a lot of schools are closing down for sure for a while. M. Nice says Bold Precious Metals is doing the right thing. Okay, cool. I like to see what they're doing. Jenny's still here. Good to see Jenny. All right. So, for those of you just joining us here, we have news, pretty much news that broke as the markets opened up this this evening in Asia, that the Federal Reserve has cut the interest rates to zero. That's a full percentage cut, 1.00, and they've launched another round of quantitative easing, a $700 billion quantitative easing program. That's the breaking news. Unprecedented. All right. A crazy hit on Thursday. Empty shelves everywhere. A lot of panic out there for sure. Panic buying of toilet paper galore. Toilet paper here, toilet paper there, toilet paper everywhere. In fact, to commemorate, I've got a piece of toilet paper in my back pocket. That's one little square toilet paper that I carry with me here. And you can hear it there. One side and the other. That's toilet paper, guys. It's odor-free toilet paper. Toilet-free. Toilet-free. Odor-free. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's get back to these comments. Kevin W. is waiting now on 12 various orders from the past 2 weeks. I don't worry so much on the dips. I know that will not last long. Great insight on zero hedge from the foreign exchange with a total disconnect from physical gold to paper. It is only getting worse. Yes, we are referenced. Pamela Rice talked to me about that. Said something about that in here. I'll have to check that out sometime. Dutch Silver Pirate says that JM Bullion has Eagles in stock. Very good. Are they 2020 Eagles? Not sure. All right. Very good. All right. Let's see here. Debbie M says steadily stacking. Yes, indeed. Steadily stacking. That's all we can do. Godside says, so silver's getting really close to zero. I mean, really, it costs more to deliver a large pepperoni pizza than 1 ounce of silver right now. Yes, it is crazy. It's an upside down world here with the silver prices. And this is why I've tried to tell people for the longest amount of time to diversify into gold. I think gold is the ultimate hedge against economic instability. It doesn't get hit as hard as silver does. And so I think it's highly encouraged for silver stackers to get some gold. All right, very good. Jackie Bridges says, oh, buy silver, stop being a P. 20 is nothing, stop being a P. I have no clue what that means. Does anybody else make any sense of that? The only thing I got from that was buy silver. All right, let's see here. But thank you, Jackie, I think. Bullion dealers are not selling out to purchase that silver at a much higher spot price. They withhold inventory. Yeah, basically saying kind of what I said. Silver is primarily used in industrial applications. Now bullion industries are primary driver of spot, not bullion. Let's see here. Well, I kind of talked about that too in this video. Okay, double post. West Coast Stacker. Why do they do that on the first page? Show silver in percentage and gold in dollars. Show both in percentage also. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of what you're referring to, but yeah. I mean, when we cover these prices here, it does show the price and the percentage here. Let's see. We're looking at the markets right now. Kitco shows us the percentage change and in price and the price movement up or down. Right now, gold and silver up, and platinum and palladium are down. And platinum and palladium are down pretty handily right now. That's crazy. Man, I kind of wish I would have waited to buy that extra ounce. I'm paying a whole $50-$60 more than what the prices are now for it, and I bought it at the dip. Crazy. That's me slurping some coffee. All right, let's see here. I gave up on Sal, says Alan Gold. Why does that not surprise me? Dang it. Coincidence and nonsense. 1-to-1. Although some were implying that last week was akin to this HDF, we are far from that. The event is temporary, hype and misinformation around. Thanks for your perspective. We may see $13 something sometime before it's done. I'm waiting, but salivating. Metal, very good point. Good comment. Coincidence and nonsense. You might be right. We very well could see silver really go back down before it goes back up again. Good to see you guys. Hello, Gold Sick. Is it Gold Sick or Gold Kick? Good to see you. Welcome. Hello, gold lovers. That's right. Getting closer to Easter with the Easter rabbit bunny there. SGT Gold is here. Hello, good to see you. And Chuck and Plata is here. Hello, Chuck and Plata. Good to see you. Albert Engel says, completely ridiculous. Dealers can't wait to dump their worthless silver stockpile. All right. What about the ratio sitting at 104.15 all weekend? I know it's crazy. Well, I talk about that in today's video, West Coast Stacker, but thank you, sir. Massachusetts Prepper says, now that is a gorgeous looking coin. Thanks for sharing. Thank you very much, MP. I appreciate it. The 2021 ounce gold double dragon unboxing video. Mint State Americana. Almost everyone else complains about manipulation and the paper price metals and wants to see it disconnect. Everybody is dumping paper right now. Do you think it's a coincidence that both the Dow and silver both dropped 20% since the 8th? In 2013, it was a paper price and a physical price, and there was a 40 to 50% difference between the two. And that is kind of what was Pamela was talking about earlier. That seeing another disconnect between the paper and the physical price. And that might be why some of these premiums are intact, because of what you're talking about here. Thanks, Mint State America, and thanks to Pamela Rice for sure. Hello, Harvey. Good to see you. And Maple Stacker. The Stacking Nerd is here. Awesome. Good to see the Stacking Nerd, by the way. Yes, indeed. And all you guys are great. Appreciate you being here. Very good. Let's see here. Low blood pressure. When spot goes down, the dealers magically run out of stock. Even their poopy stuff no one wants. Yeah, poopy. I got a piece of poopy paper right here. I have this one little sheet of toilet paper to remind me, as sort of a comfort thing, you know, that I'm trying to be sane in an insane world. Thank you so much. Low blood pressure. Gregarious bees. Pretty simple. The bullion dealer purchases their supply at a rate that is higher than current spot price. The silver sitting on their shelves. They sell it for less than the purchase. They're going to take a loss. And they not only need to pay for the silver they need to keep their lights on, pay the employees, etc. In this market, we need to forget about premiums, as they are based on the manipulated silver paper market. Just look at a real-world supply and demand. There's a ton of demand for silver right now, despite the worthless spot price. And that harkens back to the previous comment. I think we're on to something here, and to what Pamela Rice broke earlier here today in the chat. I need to look for that, find that article from Zero Hedge. And, of course, unfortunately, you know, I have a full-time job outside of this, but I won't have time to record a video on it until tomorrow afternoon. But I think it's worth covering. 30 grit toilet paper. There you go, Native Stacker. Yes, indeed. This stuff, actually, it's pretty soft. It smells, there's no odor to it. But anyways, all right, very good. I could run this through the printing press and put $1 Federal Reserve note on it, toilet paper. You know what I mean? It's crazy. What is that image of a toilet paper? Let me see if I can pull this up here. I'm going to try something here. I think this is apropos if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. This is an image that I think you'll find quite apropos for the whatchamajigga. Let me see here. Hold on a minute here. Just bear with me here. There it is. There it is. There's the. That's what everybody's looking at these days. You know, this is pretty apropos. So, yeah, that's what everybody's after. Everybody's after. They're after the mighty dollar and the mighty TP. I need TP for my bunghole. I need $100 bill for my wallet hole. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. But this $100 bill is going to be worth even less in the grand scheme of things, with yet another round of QE, quantitative easing. Crazy, crazy. All right. LSK, sounds like you have the back. You have the back of these scumbag dealers. Oh boy, yeah, there you go. Again, even after I posted my thing, people are gonna think that. No, I just like to be realistic about things, and I'm not a pile-on kind of guy, a mob thing. LSK. I think you have to watch the very end of the video. I don't know why all this spaces came up there. Yep. And I said that at the risk of sounding like that, but nope. I don't have any interest in any bullion dealer. They don't have any interest in me. but I'm not going to just throw them under the bus because, they've got to make money too. Everybody that has a business and everybody that works in a business, it's in their best interest that they make money. We buy from these precious metal dealers. So it's not in our best interest that they lose money. It's just ridiculous to even think that. And these scumbag dealers, that's for them to just people call them scumbags. It's like, come on, let's just get it for perspective. That's why I'm trying to reach out to some of them so that we can ask these questions to make sense of it, to see. We don't want them to be dishonest. We want them to be straight with us. But on the other hand, if they are straight with us, we've got to accept it for what it is and move on. Because almost every bullion dealer out there has raised their premiums. And why are they doing it? Because there's massive demand. That's what happens. That's part of what the free market's about. If you really want, look at toilet paper, for goodness sake. Toilet paper is, they're going to make more and more toilet paper. Look, there's premiums on toilet paper and stuff like that, but it's a little bit different. And see, that's just it. This is where it's our fault because we're flooding these precious metal dealers with orders when the spot price goes down. We should not do that. We should not do that. Speaking of spot price, let's see what's happening now. Spot price is up. And now it's literally up only a couple of percentage, not even a percentage point for both metals. Gold is up $14.30. Silver's up a dime. So it could be that they're digesting this news and thinking now, hey, maybe this QE, this another round of QE and more liquidity in the markets are going to help. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see what happens. So maybe everything's going to even out. I don't know what the futures are like. Let's see here. The breaking news says Powell says the Fed doesn't see negative rates as appropriate policy for the United States. So there you go. So that was the next question was going to be, were they going to go negative? I mean, when I say negative, I mean literally as far as interest rates are concerned. There's a lot of negativity out there in the world, it seems like, but this is in a literal sense in terms of interest rates. And Powell says the Fed does not see negative rates as appropriate policy for the United States. But if you're just joining us here, the news is that the Federal Reserve has, on an emergency session on a Sunday night, they have dropped the interest rates a full percentage point. That's 1.0, 1 point drop. A full point, and that is unprecedented, never happened before, and it happened on an emergency session on a Sunday. And there's also a massive $700 billion quantitative easing program that has started. I believe it's safe to say this is quantitative easing 4.0, and I believe they will probably keep this up until things subside months after the coronavirus. So we'll see what happens. But breaking news, the Federal Reserve has cut interest rates 1 point. They're now at the very bottom and zero now in a QE4, $700 billion quantitative easing program. It's crazy. All right, let's see here. So we are looking at the markets, and the markets are starting to subside a bit from this news. They're now, gold and silver are only up just over half a percentage point each. 3/4 of a percentage point for gold and a half percentage point for silver. 1542.40 for gold and 1486. For a while we did see silver over $15, but it's now pulled back a little bit. All right, let's see here. Aussie, not until a cash ban law be introduced USA can stop a run on the banks. Banks want to bail in now. 280 in the house. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Eric, by the way, was the first person to get the wrench here as a moderator on my live streams, and he has the wrench to prove it. It's just not blue. It's silver. He has got a silver wrench that shows the majesty of his greatness as our resident bouncer here. Eric, a good guy, a great, wonderful member of the community for sure. Unlike Alan Gold, who is the bottom feeder of the community, he's right there with the soap scum scraping out every last bit of coronavirus-infested mucus and pus and blood. That's Alan Gold. I say that with all affection, though, Alan Gold. I really do. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. Vogus is here. Hello, Vogus. Welcome. Donna, New Mexico, still with us here, churning away. Terry thinks I should just shut up. I know I've been talking like crazy. I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot to keep up with here as we do this market watch. Let's get into some of these comments and hear from you. Talking Bullion says, great video, Sal. We know they need to make money to stay in business, but the consumer should benefit as much when it goes down as they do when it goes up. Just saying. Yes, in a perfect world, I agree. And in fact, I would even dare say that most of these bullion dealers would agree with that too. However, we'll find out. I'm hoping we'll get a definitive answer for some of these dealers on why this happens. I have a feeling it's got to have something to do with some of the supply, and we have to take some of their word for it because we can't actually go into their vaults to see what's there. But they are not going to sell the silver that they have these long positions in, and so they're left with a supply of silver that they either have bought or have ordered. And they have to order from other places, and those other places are going to charge more. So I have to pass that price on to you. And so I think that's probably what's happening here. That's my guess. Let's see here. All right, Silverholic, tell us how we really feel about Alan. I know, man. I tell you what, I almost feel bad for what I just said. Almost. All right, no, I'm kidding. For those of you who aren't aware, Alan Gold and I like to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of jabs back and forth, but it's all in good fun. We're just we've been around for a while and know each other there, but we just have fun there. But no worries, nothing personal. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. There's some people you can joke around with that like that, you know what I mean? And Alan's one of those I can just joke around with like that. It's no big deal. But I do appreciate, I appreciate Alan being here, for sure. But I appreciate all you guys. Your viewership and your support means a lot, definitely. And indeed. All right, very good. All right, Beaver, Steak and Fever. As my dad tells me, profit is not a dirty word. Exactly right. That's exactly right, my friend. Could not agree more. It's part of the free enterprise system. That's exactly right. And maybe that's why it's perceived why I am maybe a little bit quicker to defend bullion dealers in this kind of situation. I just don't want to just jump to these conclusions and pile on with this. But again, for the consumer side, I will say this. That part of why they're raising their premium is because of this massive demand. The way not to do that is don't buy. There's times when you shouldn't buy silver too, or gold, or anything else. There's just as many good reasons not to buy as there is to buy, in my view. And so I try to keep a balanced view on that. Let's see, Mutswat's here. But I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from on that. Don't buy if the premium is too high. If you're a stacker, that's the golden rule. You should always buy low and sell high. This is the worst time to sell your silver, by the way, people. When the prices are this low, the last thing you should do is sell your silver, in my opinion. Let's see here. Let's see here. PDX Brewer, Sal, the accused, innocent until proven guilty. Yes, indeed. Yes, exactly. All right. Dan Gillespie says, I like your videos, always informative. Thank you, sir. Like I said, I'm trying to keep a balance, and a lot of my views are unpopular, you know. I could pile on and say, yeah, these darn dealers, you know, this or whatever, you know, they're scamming us or whatever, they're abusing and everything like that, but I've got my words out, I got my feelers out. Hopefully we'll hear from some of them, because I do think it's important to get a perspective and see what's going on out there. Let's see here. Do not pay the high premiums. Amen. That's exactly right, dude smart. The best thing to do is not buy when the premiums are high. Yes, indeed. And I'm sure some dealers would not like for me to say that because they want your business. But I think they would understand if they're honest with themselves. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, all right. Silverholic says, I agree with everything the dealers are doing except shorting the silver market. There's no excuse for that. I think that's part of the hedging that I talked about in that video, because there's long positions and short positions. And they have to take short positions to protect themselves too. So I think that's part of what that's going on. Let's see here. Yeah, Terry says, better we lose than the dealers. Well, no, here's Terry. Here's how you don't lose. You don't lose if you don't buy. That's how you don't lose. It's all up to you. No one separates you from your money other than yourself. Bottom line. Tell that to your friend, Terry, because that's what it really all that boils down to. You do not part with your money until you freely and willingly give it away. Whether it's to some bullion dealer or if I review a coin on my channel and I happen to like that coin, no one is forcing you to buy that coin. No one is forcing you to pay a high premium for a coin. You make that decision yourself. And as long as I present the information in a transparent manner, and I am honest with you that, hey, I received this to review for a bullion dealer, and I tell you out front that it is a higher premium piece, and it is not for stackers, it's for collectors. Then there you have it. It couldn't be any more clear than that. And if you buy that coin, then it's because you want to do it. It's not because of anything that I'm forcing you or probing you to buy that coin, or it's not out of any what's the word, misdirection or misleading viewers or anything like that. And same thing with the dealers. You have to know what they're saying. Same thing when they list the price as low as. When you see the as low as price, I see it too. And in your mind you think, oh, it's this price, but then when you go to it, you see, no, that's the quantity price. In other words, when you go and you buy that coin, you, in order to get that as low as price, you got to buy like 100 or 200 of that coin. Well, no, you have to look. You've got to be smart about it. You have to look at the price for the single or below 20. That's the price you pay. If you're using a credit card, it's going to be 3% above that. So that's the kind of thing you have to keep in mind. There's marketing techniques out there that are meant to kind of like push you in a direction. You have to be wise to them. That's why anything that I present on this channel, I try to be very clear with it, especially if I'm reviewing a coin or I'm talking about any particular subject with regards to what bullion dealers either offer or what they sell or that kind of thing. So there you go. All right, let's see. I think last disturbing action. I'm trying to see what that comment means. I'm not sure, but thank you. Let's see here. Philip Quinn, printing fiat like a banana republic. I'll stick with the yellow and white. All right, there you go. Yellow meaning gold and white being silver. Very good. Big Sean, the hell with the dealer. What about the stackers? Well, again, that goes back to the stackers have got to be smart. If you're a pure stacker, what is your first goal? To find the most recognizable silver that you can liquidate at the cheapest price above spot. Buying when the premiums are jacked up, that's not the time to do it. That's not the time to do it. Let's see here. Sleepy Stacker, great video, explained a lot. I think I'm going to only stack 90% silver, rounds and bars from now on. Coins like the American Silver Eagle seem to get screwed around too much when the price of silver moves. All right, yeah, and keep in mind too, as Silver Wolverine pointed out, the American Silver Eagle is sold to bullion dealers at $2 over spot. Their distributors get them from the mint, and they pay $2 above spot for them. Yep, and there's a Samurai's doing another thing talking about that. I don't think some of these people that are complaining about this watched my video about this. I don't think they watched it. All right, let's see here. Randy Laundry, back the truck up. I bought a truckload. All right. Hope you got a good deal on it. Yes, indeed. Mudswat says, we will see $25 to $30 silver after said illness passes. You know what? I wouldn't surprise me this, Mudswat. It would not surprise me one bit if we saw it go up that much after this. The markets have been crazy. In fact, speaking of crazy markets, let's see what's happening now with them. They're subsiding a bit, but they're still low, but they're still up a little bit from the open. We did see silver go above $15, $15.15 for a time, for about the first half an hour after the market's opened. But now they are down. Now it's down below $15 again, but it's still up from the low, up a dime from $14.79 where it closed. Gold is up $16.90. Platinum and palladium are taking a hit. Platinum is now $754, and palladium is under $1,800 now. Crazy. All right. Let's see here. All right, very good. All right, Pamela Rice. Yeah, some of the items you feature are beautiful, but not necessarily recognizable to Joe's six-pack. When SHTF, no, that's right. And see, I'm a collector more than anything. I'm a collector before I'm a stacker. So I'm going to review coins, by the way, and unbox coins that I like. I'm going to unbox. In fact, if anything, you got to be more careful about those videos because I'm buying those coins and I'm reviewing them because I like them. People are more apt to buy in that scenario than they are for a reviewed coin. But any coin that I review is going to have, it's either going to be a lower premium collector bullion coin like the Route 66 series, or it's going to be a higher premium coin that may have 30, 40, 50 bucks above spot for it. But I make it very clear in all those videos exactly what I'm doing and what I'm showing. I make it clear that I'm reviewing them for a bullion dealer. I make it clear that it's not a stacker coin. It's a collector coin. But for those of you who have any familiarity with my channel, you'll know that I collect coins. That's my first love, and so that's part of what it is. And I separate that from the stacker aspect of it. Stackers, they want to get generic rounds. They want to get recognizable bullion like Canadian Maple Leafs, American Silver Eagles, and the like. And they want to get that stuff for as little over spot as possible. Indeed, that's part of the nature of it, and that's understandable. Those kind of people, they should not buy unless they just want it, to treat themselves from time to time. Any of the collector coins that I show or anybody shows on their channel. All right, let's see here. Okay. Crazy times, stay safe. Thank you, Sir Metal Bum. Good to see you. All right. And we've got great information, says Lost for Words. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much. All right. So for those of you just joining us, we spoke about this earlier, but the Federal Reserve has cut the rates to zero, a full percentage point drop on a Sunday. We're going to refresh the story and see if there's anything new on it. They've launched another round of quantitative easing, $700 billion worth. QE program will entail $700 billion worth of asset purchases, entailing treasuries and mortgage-backed securities, focusing on the housing market because that is the precipice of what led to the financial meltdown of 2007-2008, known as the Great Recession. They don't want something like that to happen again. A lot of this is being on the tail end of the coronavirus outbreak. A lot of places are closed down, a lot of gatherings, a lot of sporting events, huge money makers, and they're slowing down now. That's crazy. All right, there you go. Mark B, can I send that roll of ASE then buy it back? That'd be nice. I wish I could do that with the platinum. Yes, indeed. All right, very good. So, yes, the interest rates have dropped down to zero, but the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, said that he does not see a negative interest rate as a policy for the United States. So, apparently, they're talking about the tools in their book, and they say that they're not going to go any lower than that. So, no negative interest rates. Futures of the Dow have pointed to a decline of some 900 points. It got to 1,000 points. Wall Street will be open Monday. It's going to be a burner tomorrow, guys. We'll see how the markets react in London and New York when it happens, but the prices are down. But precious metals are up slightly of this news. Now gold is up over 1%, and silver's over 0.6% up. All right. Donald in New Mexico, 176. Hi, Sal. Between premiums and taxes, I have not seen spot prices on anything. Can you tell your bullion dealer buddies that I need a break? All right, well, let's see here. They're not my buddies, by the way, Donald. Just so you know. Let's see. I have faith. I have more faith in silver now. Cool. All right. Very good. Moofy's not been swayed by this. Isn't Fed Res Head F. Goldman sucks? I don't know if he was part of Goldman Sachs. He may have been. Wouldn't be unusual for some of these Fed Reserve chairmen to be former bankers. What is China's cash rate? What new world reserve currency? I don't know, man. Cash rate at the moment. I have no way to find that out. Let's see here. My Platinum Eagle I bought for $8.91. I think you can get him for $8.46 now, I believe. Donald. Let's see here. Silver Stanger's here. Hello, good to see you. Fran Chelsea. Wonder how stackers receive their packages with faces look like this time. Not sure I get that comment. Wonder how stackers receive their packages with their faces look like this time. I'm confused by that. The facilitator. Love Sal's intros, the music, and the shaking words. It gets me all hyped up. Let's do and explore, baby. Thank you, sir. You know what? This is the very first time that I've not received a negative comment on my intro. It does take some time to put those intros together, and I usually change them up every year. But this one may be a keeper for a while, actually. We're good. Hey, hello, C-Rod is here. Hey, YouTube. Good to see C-Rod. If you guys get a chance, check out his channel. He's a good guy. He's got a great channel there. It's second on the slurp of some coffee. Yes, indeed. All right, Silver Honda, have a good night, my friend. All right, very good. Kensha Kenji, talk about the reserve ratio. God darn reserve ratio. What does that mean? I don't know what that means, Kenshenki. Let's see here. Robin, is it me? The guy named Rob. That's right. The guy named Rob. Good to see you, Robin. Good to see you. Bear Stearns. All right. Blanco Nino. No matter how worthless silver becomes, it will always cost rubes $20 an ounce. Rubes. I'm not sure. Rubes. Yeah, well, we'll see. We're seeing movement of the price go up. Maybe it's part of that break. It could be part of that break. Screw ASCs. I want generics, and it is not widely available, at least not to several. Used to buy silver backed by a failed government means nothing to me. Buy silver and gold. All right, let's see here. Go to the paragraph of the CNBC, or I'll go down further. All right, well, we read all that paragraph once. Let me see here. Trying to think what you're talking about here. We read this whole thing before. Earlier, you may have missed it, but the Fed is not going to go negative on the interest rates. We talked about that before. Let's see here. No monetary policy. The Fed lowered the rates to 0 to 0.25. Here it is. It's down. Will be targeted at 0 to 0.25%, down from a target range of 1% to 1.25. So the very top of it is going to be at 0.25%. So at 0, the range is 0 to 0.25. That's what you're talking about. I think I read that paragraph like 4 times. You must have missed it. But that's it. The market declined. So I think we've covered that. There's a range there. Stacking Stormtrooper, good to see you. Saying hello. Good to see you. Be well. Thank you very much. No worries, brother. Appreciate you being here. Have a good night. Reserve requirements down. Well, you're going to have to tell me exactly the reserve requirements here. I don't see. Okay, the Fed cut reserve requirements for thousands of banks to 0. In addition, in a global, so the Fed cut reserve requirements, so they don't have any requirements on them for the reserves, which means that they can loan banks back and forth, however they want to, I guess. It's a coordinated move by the central banks. I read this before, too. Bank of Canada, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, European Central Bank. The Swiss National Bank took action to enhance dollar liquidity around the world through the existing dollar swap arrangements. We covered that extensively before, Ken Shanky. We covered that extensively before. They're going to get that dollar moving around as much as they can to have faith in the dollar. They want dollars available to everywhere around the world to secure its role as the Federal Reserve note. We talked about that, Ken Shanky. I think, hopefully, I hope you got it, that we've covered that. And I get it, dude. I understand. There's a lot of news to cover here. But that's exactly right. It's something. We're doing it. We're doing the best we can here. We're trying to cover it all. And that was part of it. We did talk about that pretty extensively earlier. Gold is down $18.90. Silver is up a dime. So it took a pretty big jump at the very beginning, but it's cutting back a little bit. Let's get back to some of these comments here. And Jack Mason says, try being in the UK paying VAT at 20%. I know, and the taxes hurt. That's what got me then on the Eagles. I bought those Tubi Eagles, and the taxes. Man, I paid like another full Eagle for the taxes on that. It's crazy. MFB, so much is out of stock. Premiums are going to go up for certain products, so it's like you were buying at a higher spot price. Deflation, I have been told over the years, is expected with a market crash. I'm learning about margin calls, creating a precious metal liquidation environment. As people lose their faith in precious metals, the manipulations are back. And this kind of ties back into maybe part of what's causing these higher premiums. Is that separation from the paper markets, as Pam talked about, and you know, that's the thing. It could be that people are starting to make a play for the physical, and so they're separating out. I need to read exactly what that's about. I'm just hearing about this as I come live about this separation from the physical to paper price. Organics says, great info for those who are unaware that dealers tend to do this. Your well of knowledge never seems to run dry. Well, thank you so much, my friend. I'm trying to keep I appreciate you understanding it. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, the dollar has run amok, folks. It's no requirements, and they're pumping more money out there. Sooner or later, something's got to give in this, and everybody's panicking right now, including the federal government. Wealth preservation, not wealth creation. Exactly right, Veritas Files. That's what it's about. It happened to gold during the last major crisis as well, but all ended up at 1900 plus. And keep in mind that gold's time to shine won't be until the market completely liquidates and gold is used to cover the economy itself. Hence why, and I've been talking about this for a long time, why gold is a tier 1 asset. April of last year, the Bank of International Settlement at the Basel noted gold as a tier 1 asset, and that is exactly done, and why we will see gold shine. And I believe even silver too. Silver will ride the coattails. Ain't no Cup Joe. Been a while, active duty life. Thank you for your service, my friend. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Thank you, my friend. All right. Okay. By the way, Silver Turtle 65 is among us here. Hello, Silver Turtle 65. Welcome. Google required reserve ratio. Yes, indeed. It's not interest rates. Yes, I know. It's about having the free flow of money. That's right. They're going to pump out. There's no requirements. They can basically just send the money out anywhere, right? Around the world. That's these banks don't have any reserves. No limitations on it. It's a nuclear option for the Fed, yeah. Is it good reasons to hold gold and silver, for sure. Especially gold, I think, during times like this. Electropig, don't forget, when prices are rising, make sure you hit your local coin shop first. When prices are dropping, make sure you hit your favorite local or online bullion dealer first. That's good advice, I think. Yes, I'm not going to read all that just in the interest of time, but thank you, sir. Very good advice. All right. I remember when I sold a few weeks back, feeling cheeky now that everything is on fire sale. Yes, I know, I hear you. Yes, indeed. Okay. Okay, His Royal Dudeness. Been a while since I've visited your channel, SM. Great stuff. Gonna check out your gold coins video now. Well, thank you so much, His Royal Dudeness. I appreciate that, my friend. Just having one cup of coffee today, Eric. And I will chase it down with water after the fact. Ron W. Great vid, Sal. Great info. Thank you, sir. Businesses have to make a profit, and not a big deal for me. Don't like the price postpone the purchase. I have 4 to 5 dealers that have good, consistent prices. I open a window for each dealer to compare prices. Apples to apples, not apples to oranges. Lowest man on the screen gets my money. With the volatility out of control of the markets and metals on Friday, I had no interest looking to buy during the weekend, so I pulled the trigger on 350 ounces Friday, just before the premium started going up. Looking forward to Bloomberg Biz Sunday night. Yes, indeed. Well, Ron W., you are wise, and you know the deal. Exactly right. Well done, my friend. Really, the bottom line is, folks, you don't like the premiums, don't pay them. It's really as simple as that, and I don't blame you. It's best to wait. It's best to wait until they fall in line with where you're comfortable. All right, very good. Let's see here. Cosmic Karma says, full-time trolling the scammers. Yes, indeed. Full-time, that's what my job is, yes. No, Ken Shenkenji, we're not making light of this. We're not making light of any of this. They're dumping $700 billion in quantitative easing 4. The reserves and the, that's obviously it's an open book there with that as to where that leads. It could be bad, but we'll just have to play it by ear. The news is happening so quickly that, we're taking it all in. No one is taking this stuff lightly, for sure. We just have to take things one step at a time. In the end, doesn't matter. We hold gold and silver. We're going to protect ourselves with that. You know what I mean? We're doing the right thing here. And no matter what happens or doesn't happen. And that thing is who knows? Everybody thought, including myself, when I cashed out my IRA in 2013, I thought for sure, oh, this is the end. It's going to go, no good can come from any of this because they had just started or finished up or quantitative easing 3. And, but somehow we pulled through it somehow, some way. I will tell you this, that, as bad as some of this seems now, we could make a turnaround. There's something to be said for the resiliency of the U.S. economy. And I say that it doesn't matter really who's president. I had these same feelings when Obama was president, or with anybody as president. There's something about the ingenuity and the stick-to-itiveness of the American people, and really for most nations around the world, they want to do well. They want to improve. I think it's human nature that we rise above and do things. Can they kick the can down the road for a while? Until they can't do it anymore, yes. There's going to come a point of no return somewhere, somehow, some way, which is why we have insurance for times like this. And I see gold and silver as insurance for times like this, or sometimes like that will be. So, as worst case scenario that could happen, heck yeah, we'll see. That's why we hold gold and silver. And by the way, it's not just gold and silver, but worst case scenario, we also prep. And we have things to protect ourselves, and we just play it smart for any circumstances that may come our way. So, yes. Not taking any of this stuff lightly by any stretch. Part-time preppers, with the way things are going, markets, precious metals, impossible what to say that could be in a week. I jumped into some platinum last night and just bought. It was the best buy at the moment. There you go, brother. That's kind of what I've been doing. And I think Centuria Sylvia has talked about that as well, for sure. Very good. All right, let's see. What is Silverholic saying? We didn't pull through it. They pushed the crash to the future by printing money. Now we are against the wall and there's nowhere else to go. Yeah, that's just it. When I say we pulled through it, the economy itself pulled through it. The debt is still there. the debt, but the dollar is strong though too. So we pulled through it in some ways, but in terms of our debt, oh, it's beyond repair at this point. It's beyond repair unless they reset the dollar. And how long can that go on? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know how long they can go on with that. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But nonetheless, if they keep taking these dollars and just throw them out there, sooner or later there's going to be so many of them that people are going to lose faith in what they're worth. There's only so much gold and silver that's out there. And so we'll see. All right. Thomas Teeter says, don't look now, but 90% junk silver premium increases are just as bad. Yeah, I know. But the thing is all about sourcing. Where are they getting it? For their short positions, they're going to have to order the stuff. They're not going to be getting it at the same price. I guarantee you some of these dealers, when they go buy in the short positions constitutional silver, they're not going to be getting it at the same rate that they would from spot price because everybody's wanting to get it. So their suppliers are charging them. That they pass those premiums on to us. So we'll see. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Part-time prepper says gallon of gas $2.39 in my area, silver quarter $2.66. The ratio always seems the same. Just saying. That's a good point. It's a good point. In fact, part-time preppers has made that analogy before. A silver quarter can get you a gallon of gas. And in 1964, or what have you, probably gas was a quarter. So yes, indeed. Okay, Happy McDoodle. Even though the silver price has dropped a few dollars over the last few weeks in New Zealand, silver bullion dealers are dropped price by 70 or 80 cents. Let's see here. Wow. So New Zealand silver bullion dealers are dropped there. That's good. They've dropped there. I guess there's probably some exceptions. Shop around. Shop around. Find the best deals you can. I always encourage that. FineBullionPrices.com, I think is one place. I talked about some others. We've talked about it before. Very good. All right. Let's see here. Where are we at? Chris Garner, I gave up on silver and bought some gold for now. All right, very good. Well, gold was down too, and it's starting to rise up again. We're going to look at the markets here and see what they're doing. Yep, the gold is up 1.58%, so they're leveled off now, at least out of the first hour and a half now. They're leveled off, but they're both up just slightly. Silver's up 12 cents, but platinum and palladium are down. So we shall see. All right, very good. All right, let's see if there's anything new on this. I don't think there's not much more to say on this as far as what they're doing. And a lot of the stuff's happening behind the scenes. We had the repurchase agreements that went on. We had they've been doing that for quite a while. They did that earlier in the year, and just in one night they put like $500 billion in one night repurchase agreements. Now we have the reserves. We have the QE4. And then and then of course the reserve thing, which is obviously a big deal. See how this plays out in the coming days. But it's oh, look at this. Fed rate moves. Here they put in a graph here. Let's see. So this is from 2008 and what happened. This is interesting, guys. Effective federal funds rate daily. So here's what happened after the crisis of 2008. Credit market turmoil, 50 basis point discount rate. Stock market dropped, 75 basis point Fed rate cut. So these moved 3/4 point was the biggest one that we saw before. Global central bank action, 50 basis point Fed funds rate cut. Look where it was at. It was almost near the bottom from 2008 all the way up until they started raising them again, 1/4 point increments at a time. 1/4 point increments all the way up. And then we saw them move back down. And then March 3rd, 50 basis point Fed cut. Then March 15th, 100 basis point Fed cut. Right back down, smack dab down to zero there. Crazy. All right. And then all of that. So it's crazy what's going on here. Absolutely nuts. And we'll see here. And then, of course, reserve requirements. They cut the reserve requirements for thousands of banks to zero. And I know that's buried into the article here, but it's big news. Kenchunky is talking about it here. We're not. They all are important, Kenchunky, but this has the potential to be bad too. We're not discounting any of it. So let's see here. All right. Okay. So Centuria Sylvia says, well, that explains it. Good job, man. Per the other, I hope eventually things resolve, even though it'll be intergalactic holding pattern. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Thank you, Centuria. I appreciate it. And Centuria, he gave us some good advice on his video about this. Just don't buy. Pay these premiums. It's really up to us. We have to be good stewards of our own money. And I think that's just it. And I want to try to be more sage about this. In that, I just assume that most people that are stacking precious metals are smarter than your average Joe. But human nature is human nature. But in the end, if you're a pure stacker, you want to find the best deal you can, pay the lowest amount over spot, because spot fluctuates. You pay 69 cents an ounce over spot for silver. You think you got a great deal if silver is $18.25 an ounce. But what if the next day it drops down $1? Well, then that 69 cents doesn't really help you a whole lot because you just lost your shirt. All right, let's see here. Okay. Beatrice. Lick ups. I would buy that for $1. Lick lips. There, he licks lips. All right, very good, Beatrice. Nice. Johnny Stack says, stacking for my children's future wealth. Love silver and will always stack. All right, very cool. Thank you so much, Johnny. He also says, my LCS recommends to stay away from 2020 ASEs. He had a $5.50 premium in this and sold me some 2016 for $2.75 our spot. Good. Very nice of your dealer. See, there's some dealers that are looking out and have the ability to be able to sell and it's to steer their customers in the right direction. Very good advice. All right, very good. Tyler, TR, I find that a lot of us stackers are patriots and gun owners, but almost none of you like capitalism when it comes to our most beloved commodity. I know, it is strange how there's a departure of that for some reason. With that said, over the years, I've noticed the change in spot takes about 45 days to show up, and retailers longer for LCS. Yes, I think that's the thing. We've got to realize that part of this is capitalism. Silver bean counter. One other method to protect themselves is to mark everything sold out. We'll see how long this dip sticks. Well, and I think that's the thing. A silver bean counter is that they're not going to sell their long position stuff where they're going to lose money on them. So it's going to be either sold out, or maybe they should, if they want to be real transparent, I guess they could say unavailable. You know what I mean? Some companies like BSGC or something like that just stopped selling altogether. They just stopped. All right. And Dr. Who is here, everybody. Dr. Who has been very active on Instagram, but he posted a video on YouTube earlier today, so guys, check it out. But follow him on Instagram too. I forget his channel name over there, but I'm not as active on Instagram. But he has garnered quite a following over there, so check him out. Silver Heist is here. Good to see you. Good to see all you guys. All right. Lucy C says, let's hope they bring the price of silver back down to $4 an ounce again so I can load up on it. I'll fill a bathtub with silver eagles and pretend I'm Uncle Scrooge. There you go. All right. Very good. Okay. Fitness Elite. I don't know what you're looking at, but JM Bullion has crap loads of silver eagles for sale. Well, they do, but they're probably charging higher premiums. They are charging higher premiums for them. And I'm not talking about the bullion dealers. I'm talking about the U.S. Mint. The Eagle sellout is from the Mint, not the bullion dealers. Big difference. Seymour Butts, I love cheap silver, cheap gold. I was sitting and waiting for the big drop to dump some cash into it. Now I just got to wait for the premiums to come down once the panic buying subsides. Think about it. All those TARS panic buying are the same ones who will sell once the market stabilizes because they overextended. And down go the precious metal prices. Gotta love it. Yes, indeed. It's times like this that we shall not panic. We should not panic. Yes, indeed. Okay. Okay. All right. Ken Shenkenji. All right. Have a good night. We taking what you're saying to heart, my friend, but don't get too crazy on us. You know, we taking it seriously here. We're taking it seriously. So yes, indeed. Vertical Stacker says all the fluctuation in price is fairly meaningless for folks who hold generational wealth. Holding silver long term implies the end that long term will come eventually, however. I hold silver for generational wealth, that is to pass down to my posterity. Still, if it goes to 25.30 an ounce, then my stack will be gone and I'll hold, watch, and do it all over again. All for the purpose of building wealth to pass down via family trust because, let's face it, it's harder and harder to make a living in this world where so many are reaching into our pockets. And the secret sectors are becoming automated, thus replacing the workforce and cost of education. Thanks for your thoughts on this new norm. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your words and your perspective on it, too. Definitely. All right. Very good. Okay. Let's see. Nathan Fisher says, I feel that since almost all silver is produced as a byproduct of industrial metals, that while the demand might go down for industrial uses, that the supply will plummet. Keep an eye on this. There's already been a 100 million ounce deficit yearly. This could create a 200 to 300 million deficit yearly. There's been a slight deficit for some of the industrial side, but not enough to really affect prices. And I do disagree. I think there's plenty of silver out there, and they will mine it. And as a byproduct, even though some of the primary silver miners have seen decreases in supply, but you know, keep in mind too that some of the demand has gone away too over the coronavirus, and but they will find more silver. Make no mistake, they will mine it and find it, produce it, and it'll these supply chains. This little bottleneck in the supply chain from Eagles to other European, all this stuff is going to come right back. It's going to come right back. It's just a matter of time before it does. It's a matter of time before it comes back. So don't worry about the supply. There's plenty of silver out there. That's not the problem. Even though it may seem like it right now that, oh man, they're not selling it because these dealers are not going to sell their long positions now. They're ordering it from other places. It'll get there. Steve Gerard, thank you so much. Hello, welcome. All right, appreciate you being here. Thanks for the super chat, Steve. And CCT, I know it's getting late. Take care and have a good night. And Barbara Carbone is right. I need to take a breather and have a slurp. It's been a crazy night here. And I need to go here soon, too, anyways. But here we go. Have a good night, CCT. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yes, we haven't finished. Coffee's literally cold now. I've been going wildfire. So, how quick is the turnover? In other words, when will the dealers start selling their metals they're buying at the current low prices? It's hard to say, but it's a great question. And if I can get a response from one of these bullion dealers for an interview, it'll be worth asking. And by the way, just as I did my bullion dealer interviews in the past as a service to the community, looking out for you guys as buyers of precious metals, I think it does help them too, but it helps you to understand what they're thinking and to ask them tough questions. And I want to take some of these questions and some of the tough ones and ask them too, and hopefully they'll be transparent about it, because, it works both ways. They need to gain the trust of the community, but the community, I think, needs to be fair with the dealers too. That's just my feeling on it. But in the end, you look out for yourselves. Never spend what you aren't comfortable doing. Don't pay any premiums you're not comfortable paying. All right, this is on the gold to silver ratio video today. How it's an all-time high. Is it wise to trade for silver now? Silver Drill Pickle thought he was first, but it wasn't quite there. I love this race for first on these videos. It's pretty cool. Electro Pig, Von Fugengrooven, thank you so much for popping in, my friend. Good to see you, John Knapp. Welcome. Pamela's here. Good to see you. Terry's got tough questions. We'll bring them on, Terry. We'll ask them. No holds barred. We're going to ask the tough questions if we get a bullion dealer. I don't know if they'll do it live, but if you have tough questions you want me to ask, email me at salivatemetal@gmail.com. If I can get one of these dealers, I can't say for sure if or when they'll take them, because I know a lot of them are real busy. But I don't care who it is. If you have tough questions, we'll ask them for sure. We want to be fair about this. Bass Internet says, indeed, in the Netherlands, this option is not available. No silver eagles I can buy. I have a lot of time to study this because the whole country is more or less locked down. Everybody more or less should work at home. Yep, I know we're seeing more and more of that here. Even talking about some places and work environments around here are doing the same thing. It's crazy. Dang USDB, however, Silver Honda is number 2. Very good. Thank you. We're going to do a couple more comment reviews here, then we're going to look at the markets one more time, but I think they seem to have settled down for the night at least. We'll find out. I tried to change 1 ounce eagle for 100 silver eagles. They were paying $15.05 for gold and 1 in $19.05 for the silver eagle. Oh, okay. So there's some enlightenment about how that will work out. Thank you. Steve Garrard, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, credit free soon. Be careful. Bank holiday soon. Be careful there, especially this week. Stay healthy. Yes, indeed. Got to be very careful for sure. We'll see what this, and I'm not making light of Kinchenki's thing about the reserve, the swap loans and the cut reserve requirements. I know that's a big deal. We did talk about it before, and we didn't take it lightly. This could be a game changer. We'll find out. We'll see. It just depends on how much they take. You know, they may not take advantage of all of it. There may be. We don't know what the details of all that stuff is. I'm not ready to just give up, say that, oh, it's going to crash overnight on this, but I'm going to take it and absorb it, look into it a little bit more. There's a lot of different things here. Yes, indeed. All right. Yeah, we'll let you know. If I can find out, I'll let you know. And it'll probably be one of those things where I may have to literally try to take off work for their schedule to make it happen. But I'm going to try my best, for sure. Okay, let's see here. Kevin R. says, interesting. So if all dealer inventory shorts the market, who buys the long contracts? Probably not much, not many of that happening right now. Or maybe a lot of it happening right now. They might be doing both. I don't know. I don't know how that works. If we buy more, the price drops. We buy less, the price goes up. No, it's the other way around. If you especially when you talk about premiums above spot, if you don't buy as much, they're going to be in competition with each other to lower the price. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's see here. All right. Okay, Friday when silver bottomed out, I was able to pick up several 5-ounce bars very cheap. Very good, X-Man. Very good. All right. And we have got Adam saying, unless silver is going to be the cure for COVID, I won't be swapping anytime soon. All right. Amen. Very good. And Tricky Guy, who's not here, amazingly enough. I allowed 9 people to post ahead of me. Yes, I'm that generous. Long did I wait for the first comment to be posted. Claim being first. I expect this modeling unto you, and my pure graciousness will edify. That's right. Very kind of Tricky Guy. I'm still think that we haven't seen the rock bottom yet. I'm holding on a little bit more till I go all in. All right. Thank you, Mark Medlin. Very good. No, says J Bar. So he is not. Is it wise to trade gold or silver? And I don't think I would either. I'm not in that. I'm not looking, not into that. The only thing I'm trading right now is TP for silver or gold. All right, says CCT. TP for silver and gold. All right, very good. Okay. And we've got Martyr Man cashing out all my gold and silver for antidepressants and anxiety meds. That's where the real money is now. Media is abusing these poor people. Fascinating what we are witnessing on a psychological level. Yes, I know. It's crazy. All right, let's see here. No, I'm going to keep what I got. Now is not the time to sell anything. That's right. Well, we are technically talking about trading, but yeah, I don't think it's time to sell either. I don't believe it's wise to sell. All right, let's see. Hawaii Silver says, if I traded, it would mean I'd have to give up what little gold I have. I think not. Maybe just hustle a little side job and convert that work into stored wealth. All right. Yep. I know. Same here. I'm not willing to give up my gold to trade for silver. Retirement fund, your rice get out or late or stay and ride it out. That's a good question, Ozzy. I may have been rash in cashing out my IRA, but it was another one from a previous job. So it may not be wise to sell. I'm not a financial advisor, and so I would just, if I were you, I would talk to your financial advisor about that, see what they have the pulse on the markets. But I would just encourage you to still accumulate some gold and silver. But I'm not in a position, because I don't want to be wrong if you cash out and the market just climbs right back up again, and you got to get in from underneath this stuff. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Bob Sullivan, what is a rhodium to gold ratio? Oh man, I don't know, man, but rhodium's holding on compared to some of these others. Last Friday, although it was 13,000 earlier, but it's still well above 11,000 now. Crazy. Masterer, stacker, not with silver premiums out of control. Wait until they normalize. All right, there you go. Kevin Ware, bullion dealers won't sell their silver for that low. Their premiums will still be way too high. And the more that supply dries up, the higher the demand on premiums. Yep. All right. Eric says the limiting negative interest rates is gold or confiscation totally out of the question. Yes, they're not going to confiscate your gold. And according to what the Federal Reserve Chairman said when asked about this, we covered it earlier, they're not going to do negative interest rates. They will not go negative. Tricky guy, the mine shut down and all the coin shops and bullion dealers shut down. How can SLVs be traded when the promise to deliver becomes impossible? Well, that's just it. There's already many more paper silver out there than the promise to deliver. It's never really tested. When you buy an ETF, you don't cash out for silver bars. You cash out for cash. So it's not tested. They can do that for a while. Good night, Silver Drill Pickle. Thank you so much. Bill says, no, I won't trade gold for silver, but like it at all. I would just be overextending myself. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, and I would buy silver with cash, dump the extra cash on money. All right, there you go. Thank you, Bill. All right, guys. All right. So one last look at the markets, and we are out of here because I want to watch a debate tonight. Bernie Sanders versus Joe Biden. It's the podiums are 6 feet from each other tonight in the debate, and so they are compliant with the standards of what the CDC says. You should be 6 feet away from each other, and it will be televised, but there will be not a studio audience, so it should be very interesting. Gold is up 1.97%, $30.20, and silver is up 13 cents, $14.92. It broke $15 earlier in the day, but it is where it is now. And so, yes, thank you so much. Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny Hansen, for being here. Appreciate you. And I appreciate all you guys being here, for sure. We just finished the copy. The two Muppets, old Muppets in the balcony. That's exactly right. That's what. Too funny. All right. Herb, thank you so much, Herb. Appreciate all you guys being here. Got some water I'm slurping. Thank you so much, guys. A multitude of gratitude to you all. Remember to keep your feet on the stars And keep reaching for the ground. Stay tuned Tuesday. And thank you so much. Yes, indeed. I think it is the high, Tricky Guy. We had 230. I think we had a little more than that. But thank you so much. Appreciate you guys being here. If you want to hit that thumbs up button if you want to hit that thumbs up button on the way out, it won't hurt my feelings a bit. I appreciate you all. Multitude of gratitude. Keep your feet in the stars. Keep reaching for the ground. No cookies for Sal. I'm being good. And I'm starting to didn't do any push-ups, but maybe Tuesday I will. Have a good one. See you later. Bye-bye.